Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is your Ramayana Singh and I'm a master student from BITS Pilani. Right now I'm working with Dover Corporation as a design engineer over there. So yeah, in today's video we are going to talk about the jobs and what are the job roles present in mechanical engineering, be it your undergrads, be it your masters. What all opportunities are present out there for you. So without wasting any time and without missing that subscribe button, let's start with the video. So yeah, I did make a complete list. If you can see what all things are present in for BTech and for masters people. So I'll be discussing them today. So yeah, see, first one is I'll be dividing this list of opportunities into two segments. First is core and second is non-core. So do watch them all. And yeah, before that, please hit that subscribe button because I'm aiming for achieving my first 1,000 subscribers very soon, and you guys can only help me achieving that. So yeah, let's start with it. So first two segments are core, non-core. For the same job role, I'll be talking about opportunities in the BTech and MTech also side by side. So if we talk about core, starting with the core first. First of all, many companies do take students as GETs for BTech people and for PGTs. If you don't know, GET is graduate engineer trainee and PGT is postgraduate engineer trainees of course. So they'll be rolling out positions for these GT and PGT roles, and you can apply for them. You can find these roles on various portals, Naukri.com. The best portal you can try is LinkedIn because definitely there are very less scammers and more of opportunities present on LinkedIn. So I do prefer that personally. And during my masters also I did get one job from LinkedIn, but still it wasn't paying well because definitely it wasn't a campus placement. But yeah, it was something about 6.57 LPA. So yeah, it was pretty good LinkedIn. Second, and I think this is the best opportunity if you're getting this. This is placements directly from campus. Definitely they're going to pay you the best in the segment because they are taking students directly from the campus itself. So they'll pay you definitely good. And for the students who think that earning 8 figures as a fresher in mechanical is a myth, dude, just leave it because most of my classmates including me are earning in 8 figures per year. If I said month, sorry for that, 8 figures per year. So yeah, second thing is placements directly from campus. Third thing is referrals. This works out very much if you like believe in this. There are companies in which your college alumni must already be working. So try approaching them, try telling them ki I do have skills in these in these fields, and can you please give me a referral for this job opening at a company, and definitely he'll be more than happy to give it, because at least if my junior contacts me, I'll be definitely happy to help him out by a referral. So you can try that also. Third way. Fourth way is design engineering. Of course, I'm a design engineer and you have to be good at AutoCAD, SolidWorks, reading PNIDs and all in design engineering. If you want a detailed video about any of the job roles or any of the job opportunities, you can tell me in the comment section. I'll do consider making a whole video out of it. So yeah, fifth one is CFD analyst. Definitely it is for the undergraduates a little less salary will be paid, and for the postgraduates a little higher salary will be paid and definitely because of the because of the course BTech and masters. So yeah, fifth thing is CFD analyst. CFD analyst, if you are in your undergraduation, you can become a CFD analyst. It's not that hard. You just need to get to learn about some software. If you want to know about CFD analyst, I have already uploaded a video in this playlist section. Go and check it out. So and it is very easy for a master student to get into CFD analyst because he definitely uses those simulation softwares and all. Sixth thing is CFD developer is very hard to get into for a BTech student and moderate for a master student, because you need to understand how does the code works. Basically, if you're coding in C, if you're coding in Python, Fortran, MATLAB, anything, you need to understand basically the coding part also. So it is pretty hard for a BTech student to get into, but still this field has a lot of opportunities and unlimited growth. So you can consider this out. Seventh thing which I personally like and I personally would have done in my undergraduation if I would have went for a job, then I would have picked up a domain. By domain I mean you can start making some projects in thermal from the very first or second year of your college, if you're in your BTech, and definitely for masters also. Pick up a domain, like you pick up a thermal domain, you picked up a aerodynamics domain, like finding out drag coefficients for different cars, like designing them in SolidWorks, simulating them in any of the tools like NSYS or anything. Or battery cooling you can work on, battery optimizations you can work on. So there are many fields in which you can pick up the topics and start making your projects on and build up your resume. This works for both BTech and for master's student also, because for masters it's definitely gonna help you out in your PhDs also and your jobs also, because if any of the projects matches with the job opportunity roles, they are directly going to take you out. So it happened with me, it happened with many of my batchmates. So yeah, it's the best way to get a job. And final thing is that government exams, GATE, IES, IFS, and whatever is there, I don't know much about government exams. Getting into PSUs, applying for DRDOs and all, you can try that also. But I wouldn't suggest that for a master's student, because dude, just come over it. You have already gone through all that stuff and you have a whole lot of opportunities or research opportunities lying ahead. Just go for that. And yeah, finally I would suggest for the master's student, apply for research and research labs. And there are actually, what happens is, for various NITs, these guys are rolling out JRF positions. You can find that position. There are many websites to find that positions actually. If you want, I can make a video, just comment it out. So apply for those research lab jobs, and JRFs are there, SRFs are there, SAs are there. So you can apply for that also. And assistant professors also. Some of the colleges in India take students as assistant professors also, for master students as assistant professors also. Now let's come on to the non-core part, because most of the people, be it mechanical, be it chemical, be it electrical, they want to come out of the course and want to work in non-core basically, because they don't find it very interesting to work in core. So yeah. Okay, so the core part itself took too long, 6 to 7 minutes. So I'll be uploading the non-core job opportunities in the next video. Do hit that subscribe and go and watch the next video for the non-core opportunities. Best of luck.